the start of this hearing comes true. That if somebody corrupts the process, that if somebody lies to the court, they face discipline or maybe criminal prosecution.
Whoa, buddy.
The way it should.
Hold up, Mr. Graham. Hold on, Mr. Graham. Hold on. Maybe criminal prosecution? Did he just... Okay. You see? Family, I want y'all to understand something. You see, there's a reason why certain individuals, black people in this country, have not stopped for 298 years stressing the importance of us understanding white supremacy. Now, family, Mr. Graham here, this chairman, Mr. Graham, I'm not going to call him a white supremacist, but he most definitely, with just that statement alone, he said maybe criminal prosecution. Let me rewind. I know what I heard. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
Extremist content and Russian disinformation online, October 2017. Protecting our elections, examining shell companies and virtual currencies as avenues for foreign interference, June 2018. Cyber threats are against our national critical infrastructure, August 2018. We have looked at Russia's role in the election. Now we're going to look at the Mueller investigation. And we're going to look hard. And we're going to see if what Mr. Rosenstein said at the start of this hearing comes true. That if somebody corrupts the process, that if somebody lies to the court, they face discipline or maybe criminal prosecution.
Okay.
You described
just like I said. He said maybe criminal prosecution. All right, family. You know what? It's a wrap. Mr. Graham, with all due respect, Mr. Graham, Chairman Graham, he's compromised, okay? Family, he's compromised. He said maybe criminal prosecution. There's no such thing as maybe criminal prosecution for perjury on a national level, a federal, you perjured a federal court, treason against the United States of America, which is all of us, all of us people, white and black and whatever, here trying to live our lives. They've compromised our national security, okay, by cohorting with the Chinese and whoever the fuck else we don't know about. They have damaged the integrity of what they call this democracy. So now, we live here in the United States, and now every other country across the world is going to be like, oh shit, that shit is a joke. So now, they done put us on a dinner plate for all types of different regimes to come in and do whatever the fuck. So now we got to go on an offense. Then they destroy the credibility of any law enforcement or so-called agency of justice in this country has been shot. The credibility is done. Done. From top to bottom. It's no way that this type of collusion, coercion, and treason, which was basically, like I said in my last video, a coup d'etat attempt, couldn't even go on this long, Holmes, if it wasn't thousands of people with money and influence and resources involved. So, and if they're involved, they know that they're doing something. They know that they're committing a crime. Holmes, you can't do criminal behavior on this level and not know you're doing something wrong, Holmes. It's not possible. This country is a fucking cesspool from top to bottom. And Mr. Graham, he's verbalizing this, but he just said maybe criminal prosecution. Then that's equivalent to let's say, go back in history, a government catches, let's say, Adolf Hitler. Let's say they caught Hitler and they cornered the Nazis, right? And they got Hitler and the Nazis red-handed. And one of the German government officials outlines everything that Hitler and the Nazis was doing. And then he says, we're going to pursue discipline and maybe criminal prosecution. What the fuck?
Mr. Rosenstein, the way it should work. And you gave us an indication of what happens if it doesn't work that way. Well, what will happen? There are millions of Americans pretty upset about this. There are people on our side of the aisle who believe that this investigation, Crossfire Hurricane, was one of the most corrupt, biased, criminal investigations in the history of the FBI, and we would like to see something done about it. Mr. Durham is looking at the criminality part.
Looking at the criminality?
Our job is...
Oh, God. Family. The Native Americans said, they said this 400 years ago.